What's going on, everybody? KSA Kris here, Real Estate Blitz, doing a quick roll up from. We actually had two more meetings last week. I didn't get a chance after the meeting to do a marketing channel, basically a mastermind roll up. And this week we just finished our mastermind today. First off, I want to say thank you, appreciate it. There's actually a few people showed up that actually watch Real Estate Blitz on YouTube, and they showed up to the mastermind. If you live in Southern California and you want to attend the mastermind, we're doing it every week. It's going to be every Tuesday at 10. Was it 11:30? It's 11:30, right? Every Tuesday at 11:30, we're going to do the mastermind. It's actually at the Signature Real Estate Group brokerage office, and you can look that up. It's off Los Alamos in Murrieta, so you could just like Google that and it'll get you here. But we're going to do it every week at 11:30, and it's pretty productive. Everybody that's attending says they really dig it. We're getting a packed house. It's happening pretty quickly. So I'm going to keep doing it because people enjoy it, but I'll also be doing these roll-ups, and that way, at least if you didn't get a chance to attend, you can watch. So last week, what we talked about, and I'm going to basically do two videos. So one for last week, one for this week, right? We want to start talking about agent marketing channels. And the big reason why is the very first time we sat down, we talked about, maximizing your time, maximizing your day, and really digging deep, time blocking. Really getting in and just digging deep when you're working and holding yourself accountable, having the self-discipline to actually stick to your time. And then every week we're actually going around the room real quick and we're, asking, are you sticking to it? How are things going? Who's struggling? What are your challenges? Once we got done with that, the very next thing that we're going into is marketing channels, agent marketing channels. So questions that we asked before we got going. What are marketing channels? What are the differences between marketing and advertising? What are you doing right now? And we actually went around the room, and I actually have the breakout here, but we went around the room and asked, what are you doing right now to generate business? It could be new business, it could be past clients. What are you doing right now to generate business? And who are you and what's best for you? Because I think there's a lot of people out there that are they heard some fancy podcast, or even if you watch here on the Real Estate Blitz and you're like, well, this person said that I should do this, so I'm going to do it. But here's the truth. It may not be for you. That specific task, whatever it is. So example, me, I know farming works. I know physically going door to door, knocking on doors and dropping packages, all these things. I know it works. I just don't want to do it. It doesn't fit my personality. I would lose my mind walking around dropping off packages at people's doors every day. It's not my thing, and that's okay. So what I have to do is find a different marketing channel. Then we talked about what excites you and where are you at with yourself. What gets you excited? What creates energy for you? And do you have a plan to master and expand your present channels? We also talked about, stop being overwhelmed. Stop overwhelming yourself with stuff and get focused. So I think I see that with a lot of agents. We talked a little bit about that in the last mastermind. You have agents that are doing a lot of stuff. They're getting overwhelmed with, well, I should be doing social media, and I should be doing inbounds, and I should be doing direct mail, and I should be door knocking. So they're doing all these things, but they've literally mastered nothing, right? So they're overwhelming themselves by focusing on a bunch of stuff as opposed to what we talked about today, which I'll do on the second video. Just picking three things to master, and after you've mastered it, either A, finding a way to maintain it with minimal energy, or B, hiring somebody to maintain it for you if it's producing enough return to where you can hire somebody and still make a profit. Then you can get into a new marketing channel. So we went around the room and we talked about what are people doing, and I actually wrote them all down. So this is what was being passed around. It was pretty packed house. Community yard sales, database, direct mail, door knocking, CRM, open houses, a shoe drive, farming, Facebook, referrals, past clients, Sphere, Instagram, Facebook, door knocking, circle dialing, expired, realtor.com, Zillow, cold calls, YouTube, CRM, inbounds. Now, it seemed like the majority of, so there's, if we were to look at the majority of what agents picked, one of them was Sphere and the other one was circle dialing. That's what a majority of the agents were doing. Everything else was like maybe at most one, maybe two agents were doing it that were actually in the room. But the majority were doing Sphere and circle dialing. So when we started talking about this, and I wanted to get into an actual mastermind where we communicated educated about what you're doing, how to maximize it, and get other people's input as far as becoming better at that and your channel to master it. What I realized pretty quickly is not everybody understood what marketing channels were. So we decided to stop completely as I was asking questions to try to drive a conversation. What I found is everybody was doing something, but they really didn't know what that something was, and they didn't really understand lifespans of maturity or anything else like that. So, example, how long does it take to mature a turbo lead? So first we talked about the buckets. You have turbo leads, you have sphere, you have open houses, you have drip or some type of nurture campaign. And then as we broke down those four major buckets, we started putting in all of these things into those buckets. So, what's circle dialing? What's expired cold calls? What's expired? What's cold calls? What's for sub owners? Those are turbo. If I need to get a deal within 30 days, if I do these positive actions consistently at a high enough volume, you're going to get a deal. Of course, there's some learning curves that take place in there, but you're going to get a deal. Door knocking is one of those as well. Then we talked about drips. Drips are going to be your inbounds if you're doing Google, Zillow, Google AdWords, Zillow, lead capture websites, social media. These are things that are going to pay out over time. They're not just marketing, but also in a lot of ways come out to end up being branding as well. And it's going to take time for you to mature those individuals, mature that database that you're creating, and actually push them to the finish line to either buy or sell a home. So it takes time. And I think that's important. So if you need a deal in 30 days and you're only focused on social media, you can't guarantee. So we talked about that. What is a guarantee? If you need it, what's your guaranteed source of income? What are the actions that you have to take place? Because if a majority of people are only working their sphere and sort of circle dialing, I mean, yeah, that works. You're going to get deals. But I think what you start to see is individuals that are actually producing, let's say, a minimum of 2 per month, especially if they're doing 5 to 10 deals per month, they're in more than just their sphere channel. You're limiting your ability and opportunity. What you should be doing is picking at least 3 different marketing channels or specific tasks within a bucket, a marketing bucket, and then mastering that so you can guarantee you're going to get at least 1 deal per month off of that bucket after that marketing channel matures, right? So we also talked about open houses. Open houses, what are the things that you could be doing for open houses in order to mature somebody? And same as for your drip campaigns and sphere of influence. Sphere of influence was a pretty deep one. We actually went deep in sphere of influence and open houses today. Then we actually went into it. So I won't talk about that, but I'm going to finish up. So we did go down each one of these buckets. We wrote out each one of the, within the bucket, what are the different things that you can be doing in that bucket that creates a marketing channel. And there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100. It really just comes down to your creativity to figure out what is your channel, what is your thing that you're going to try to master. And then talking today, we talked about creating a plan of action, which I'll get into at the next video. So a lot of the last mastermind that we did, which was last week, it was just talking about marketing channels based off of the questions and going a little bit deeper to expand every agent that attended, expanding their knowledge, ideals, well-being in general on what is out there instead of just what this one thing that they've heard about. Well, everybody door knocks. I guess I just door knock. Yeah, but there's other ways of other opportunities, other things you could be doing, and a lot of it is only limited to your creativity. So that's what we talked about in the last mastermind, going into agent marketing channels. I'm going to do another video right after this one, so they're not too long. I hate going over 5 minutes. We're actually almost at 9. And hopefully in the next video we can button this up for you and then go from there. All right, that's all I got. Appreciate it. Talk to you all later.